And we're back. I don't have a comic pick for you this week because last weekend I was at Emerald City Comic-Con in beautiful Seattle, and I got to talk with a lot of really cool people about their art and what they're proud of and why they were there. So without further ado, let's talk comics. At Emerald City, like most other Comic-Cons, there is a place, a magical place called Artist Alley, which is just a labyrinth of creators, writers, cartoonists, letterers, etc. And you can buy their stuff and chat with them, and if they're nice, they'll probably sign it and draw stuff in it, and you guys know how it goes. But anyway, in the D block of Artist Alley, there was a bunch of Portland familiar faces, including Jason Fischer of J-Fish Studios. Now, you may remember J-Fish because I reviewed his comic earlier this year, Swimming with J-Fish, and it was great.
I'm Jason Fischer, also known as J-Fish, Studio J-Fish. This is my banner. I'm at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, Washington at the Washington Convention Center in downtown. This is maybe I think I've been tabling at this show for basically a decade, almost consecutive every year. And I have my comics and merchandise. I make pins, keychains, patches, stickers. My biggest book that I have is Seconds, that I worked with Brian Lee O'Malley as the drawing assistant, background artist. So I did all the interiors, basically all the insides of rooms and buildings, exteriors, props, stuff like that. Working alongside Brian. And I'm also with Floating World Comics and Zack Soto with Study Group Comics. And we're all here like we are every year, selling our wares. I think I'm most proud of the fact that I'm still here and still making comics and art. I've been tabling at conventions besides Emerald City since 2006. It was my first year doing exhibiting, and to still be doing it is kind of a feat in itself that I'm impressed with and proud of. But I'm really proud of my comic Terra Flats. I have 2 issues of that. It's just about 2 friends that live in the city. There's mysticism and magic powers and romance and lightning and all sorts of stuff like that, and demonic transformations, you know, kind of like typical early 20s living in the city kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, you know, I really hate it as a gal living in the city when a demonic transformation interrupts my casual Wednesday.
But yeah, it's maybe my favorite current work out there. I'm working on another graphic novel that's a separate project from that, that I'm currently writing and penciling, and that's starring these 2. So there's nothing out yet, but right now I've got about 4 out of 5 chapters penciled and lettered, written, and it's going to be a really good book. I'm really excited about it. Well, you can always find me studiojfish.com. I also just go by all my social media as Studio J-Fish. And I'm in Portland, Oregon, and I work at Floating World Comics part-time. So if you stop in, there's a chance you'll find me there.
Writer and artist Zack Soto spared some time to talk with me about The Secret Voice, his new book coming out.
Hey, my name is Zack Soto. I'm a cartoonist. I'm in the Emerald City Comic-Con, and I do a book called The Secret Voice, and some other things, and I'm enjoying my time today. What am I most proud of? Yeah, I was like, my son. No. Well, I did just finish this book. In the last year, and we kickstarted it, and it was published basically. Got our first copies in September. It's coming out to the broader publishing industry kind of circuit in April. I'm really excited about this book. It's kind of weird because it's been out in my hands. It's been in my hands for months, and so I had to remind myself, like, I did this thing. It took a long time to make, and it's here. And it's actually, I'm pretty bad about self criticism or whatever. But I'm like, this is good. So that's what I'm most proud of so far. I'm on the internet at zacksoto.com. If there's a hyphen in between Zack and Soto. And I'm also on the internet at studygroupcomics.com. You can read a lot of free comics that aren't just mine, a lot of amazing creators there. And I am on Twitter at my name, zacksoto.com, or Zack Soto, and Instagram also, Zack Soto. As I've staked out the claim, there's a teenager named Zack Soto who's mad about it, but I got it.
You can get The Secret Voice at Floating World Comics, but it will be available to the masses next month as well. And Andrew Carl, a local writer, was debuting the first part of his first long-form piece, as well as selling some of his comics that he's had published through Dark Horse.
I'm Andrew Carl. I'm a writer and editor. I also co-founded a small publishing company called Locust Moon Press. I'm here today with my books Once Upon a Time Machine, Volumes 1 and 2, that came out through Dark Horse. And they're anthologies that I edited and wrote bits of, and they're a lot of fun. But I'm also here debuting a preview of a new series that I'm writing. It's the first long form thing I've written myself. It's called Only Hope, and it's kind of a blend of Japanese RPG aesthetics with a lot of psychological drama and anxiety and depression and stuff, fun stuff. But also talking cats and magic, the good stuff. I would have to say Only Hope. It's my newest thing. I put a lot of myself into it. I think it's going to be a really cool story. They can find me online on Instagram at AndrewMTC, Twitter, Andrew the Carl, or my website, which is andrewcarlcomics.com.
And of course, you guys remember Farel Dalrymple. He released his book Proxima Centauri earlier this year and was nice enough to sit down and chat with me then. And here's some more.
Why am I here? Why are any of us here? I have a new book out, Proxima Centauri. Came out in January, you know that. I'm promoting it and selling it and drawing for people and stuff.
These are strangers, though. I pretend I'm not here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Should I be talking into the camera?
Whichever.
I guess Proxima Centauri just because it's the newer thing. But I don't know, proud of it. That's hard hard thing to say. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing I guess I'm hyping right now.
Artists, man, they have a hard time answering that one.
Well, I would say of the stuff I have here, yeah, but I think of the hardest book that I worked on was probably the Wrenchies. I spent the most time on that, and I guess feel ultimately the most satisfied with how that came out. I'm on Instagram. Farel Dal is the thing that I post to the most, I guess. I have a Patreon and a website and stuff, but Instagram's just so easy. Oh, I dropped the fell off my lap.
That's all I had for you.
Okay.
And this is cartoonist Ian MacEwan. Ian MacEwan. I'm so sorry, Ian. And this is cartoonist Ian MacEwan's first time tabling at Emerald City Comic Con, though he's a longtime patron and helper outer. Some of his books may be familiar to you, and if they're not, you should pick them up.
My name's Ian MacEwan. I'm a cartoonist for the first time at Emerald City after spending many years helping in tangential capacities. Creator owned book I did called The Yankee, written by a friend of mine, Jason Leivian, who owns Floating World Comics in Portland. The best place would be Twitter. The second place would be Instagram. Twitter is just my name, Ian MacEwan. And then Instagram, I have a convoluted name on it, but if you search for my name, you'll find it.
And of course, last but not least, Floating World Comics was there because they are also a publisher of comics. So, get you a comic book shop that does both.
Yes, my name is Jason Leivian. I'm the owner of Floating World Comics, a shop in Portland, Oregon. And we're also a publisher. So when we do these shows like Emerald City, we table as a publisher and we bring all the different books and different artists that we work with. I mean, I'm proud of all of our books for different reasons. This is one of our newest titles by John Michael Frank. It's actually not out yet. It'll be out in May. So I'm super excited about that one. This new Al Columbia book that we did last October. Yeah, I'm proud of that one, of getting that one out into the world, because people love his art, but there's not a lot of it out there, and it's been a few years since his last book So I was really excited to put that one out. Well, they can find all of these things at the shop in Portland, Oregon. We're in Chinatown at 4th and Cooch, right by the Chinatown gates. And then we also have distribution through Diamond, so that means any comic shop in the country can order our books, or they can order off of our website.
And you folks know that I partner with Floating World every week because they suggest comics to me and I read them and then I talk about them. They are located at 400 Northwest Cooch Street here in Portland. Everyone there is so nice and so knowledgeable, and there is a plethora of comics there. There's your superhero stuff, there's some back issue stuff, and there's a lot of indie content. So if you're looking to support local artists like the artists you just saw here, you should visit them and see what they're publishing and see what they have there. They have a lot of really cool stuff that you're not going to get at any other comic book shop. So you should stop in and tell them that I said hello. And that's kind of all I have for you this week, honestly. No comic book pick, but next week I'll be back on my ish, so you should drop me a comment about what comic I should read. I love to see what you guys are reading and what you guys are loving, because it's probably different than what I'm reading and what I'm loving, and that is the joy of nerd stuff. So, you know, let me know what's going on there. And if you like this kind of video, if you could like this video, I would really appreciate that. And if you could subscribe, I would also really appreciate that. I'm a one-lady band, and so every little comment and every subscription and everything else, it really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for those of you who are watching this video. And so I will see you next week, same-ish time, same place. And this has been KGW's Comic Pick of the Week, without the comic pick. More like, this has been KGW's Comic Talk of the Week.
I'm at table D12. The D block is pretty banging this year. Lots of really great creators, and I'm happy to be surrounded by them.
What about if they're not here? Where can they find you?
Oh, if they're not here, is that what you said in the first place?
Sorry, my voice is
Okay. Well, never mind. We'll edit that part out.